Good evening, everyone, and welcome to YourLiveEvent.com and our coverage tonight of high school volleyball. Tonight, it's Tigers on Tigers as we've got the Nevis Tigers in town taking on the Pine River-Backus Tigers. I'm Devin Kruger, and we welcome you to our Station 371 pregame show. Restock on food, fuel, and bait at locally owned Station 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Centex gasoline, and they're one of the only area fuel stations with kerosene and off-road diesel. Don't forget those hunting and fishing licenses, Station 371 in Pine River. Frank Parkinson's joining me here tonight in what should be an excellent contest. We're going to trade off some play-by-play duties because Frank is new. He needs the practice. But even talking with the coaches, which we'll play those interviews, you can tell there is a lot of excitement for this matchup here. As you believe it or not, these teams are kind of closing in near the halfway point of the regular season already.
And these are two teams with some history and two teams with good records. You got Pine River-Backus. They've won 3 straight. They're getting momentum on the season. Nevis won 4 of 5 in their tournament on Saturday. It's going to be a great matchup tonight.
Absolutely should. Here on the pregame show, we were going to take you through the team comparison. Got plenty of notes on that. Again, we will hear from both head coaches for tonight's matchup. Get to the starting lineups, and we're all leading up to the opening serve. The B squad, Pine River-Backus won 2-0. I didn't see the score of the first set, but I know it was close. The second set went 28-26. If that's a precursor to what we're going to see, well, we'll just plan on being here a while.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a back-and-forth matchup. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, it should be a great one. Thank you, of course, to all the great sponsors for helping us bring you tonight's coverage on YourLiveEvent.com. We will break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the team comparison of these two clubs coming in. It's Tigers and Tigers here on YourLiveEvent.com. Economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
We are back with you live here as Chattahoochee's playing for the warm-ups here at YourLiveEvent.com at Pine River-Backus High School. Expecting a nice crowd, kind of getting that sense. Of course, PRB hosting a big cross-country meet today with a number of area schools as well. So looking forward to this one. Let's take you through our two teams coming into tonight's matchup. Both of them featuring first-year head coaches. For the Nevis Tigers, Carly Cobb has been with the program for 11 years. Heidi Wormley was at the helm for all of those years. Carly taking over this year. Heidi still on staff. It was great to see Heidi coming into the gym tonight, and got a great hi from her. We've covered Nevis a few times over the last couple of years with volleyball and girls basketball and whatnot. The Tigers, they're receiving votes in the most recent Class A volleyball poll from the Volleyball Coaches Association. 8-1 overall, 1-0 in the Northland Conference, 1-0 in Section 5A play. They defeated LaPorte on Tuesday 3-1, and as Frank said, they went 4-1 in the tournament this past weekend. Their only loss of the year came at the hands of 10th-ranked Kitson County Central. Last year, Nevis was 12-16, but a number of key returners obviously stepping up their game here this year. For the Pine River-Backus Tigers, they are 6-3 on the season, winners of 3 straight, 1-0 in conference, 2-1 in section play, coming off a match, Frank, that you had Tuesday, going the distance against Verndale, and they were able to come away with a 3-2 win.
Absolutely, and in that third set, PRB really struggled, and the coach brought her troops in, got them calm, and they were a different team in sets 4 and 5, and I mean, it was a great job by PRB to put a full game in.
So 3 straight wins. Now looking at the 3 losses for PRB, one of them to Swanville, who's a solid club. We had that one earlier here on YourLiveEvent.com. Their other 2 losses are also against top 10 teams, number 4, Mabel Canton, and number 7, Floodwood. So the 3 of the 4 losses for these 2 teams combined to current top 10 teams. The Tigers of PRB last year, 19-12 on the season. They lost in the 5A semis to the eventual champ Sabika. Talking about the history of these 2 teams, well, in the last 10 meetings, Nevis has the advantage 6-4. Pine River-Backus won last year, 3-1. In 2023, they split. Nevis won the regular season meeting, but PRB took the Section 5A championship match to go to the state tournament. PRB had back-to-back trips to state here in recent history. So a lot of back and forth in the win-loss column, and we're expecting a lot of back and forth on the court tonight. That's a look at how our teams compare coming into tonight's matchup. When we come back on yourliveevent.com, we'll hear what the coaches have to say about their teams and this matchup tonight. It's the Nevis Tigers and the PRB Tigers coming up. It's the Station 371 pregame show on yourliveevent.com.
Ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrump Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrump Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River-Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrump Excavating LLC. Online at shrumpexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash. Open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100. Welcome back to the Station 371 pregame show for volleyball tonight. As joining us now is Carly Cobb, head coach for the Nevis Tigers. First year as head coach, and you're off to a great start. First of all, Coach, thank you for some time to chat about your club before tonight's game.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
8-1 on the year. Last year, 12-16. So, I mean, you're off to a flying start. What has been the key to the turnaround thus far for this Nevis Tigers team?
Yeah, so we have 5 seniors on our roster this year, and so they all got some experience last year. They kind of learned the ropes, learning to work together. We've added those couple of freshmen and a couple sophomores into the mix, and they've all gelled really nicely together. They're all hard workers, and they just are ready to go this season. Your only loss was in a tournament to 10th-ranked Kitson County Central. So, I mean, obviously, and really both of these teams have played some high-caliber teams. When you're going up against them, what have you liked the most about how your team's performing at a high level? I have been very impressed by the way the girls have actually stepped up and dug in together. They're a very flexible team, so if we have to switch something in the moment based on the team we're playing, I feel like they're flexible and they're willing to do that, so that's a key for us right now. Execution-wise, what have you seen that pleases you the most and tells you that this is a team that is kind of built for the long run? I've been impressed by just our aggressiveness. They go back behind the line. They've tried to stay aggressive on their serving. We've tried to run the plays that have kept us aggressive at the net. We've been running things in practice to get the girls ready defensively as well. So I'm just proud of them for staying aggressive during matches. Of course, you become a good volleyball team, as you say, flexible and well-rounded. Take us through what do you see, Carly, as some of the strengths at the net and also from that defensive side? Yeah, well, of course we have Ava Forbes, number 7, coming in hard at the net as our middle, but she's able to kind of hit different places. Danica and Claire has been holding our defense well together. Brenna's kind of leading it for us as a setter. And then we have Amber Pyburn coming in and hitting strong as well. And then those couple of freshmen, Mackenzie and Ari and Dirk Heising, have been hitting for us. So trying to move the ball around as much as we can.
this conference, of course, you only get one crack at this side of it for Pine River-Backus, and we know that it's one of those rivalries. Obviously, it goes deep. It's a regional one. So when you approach tonight's game, what have you been able to find out? What are you prepared for taking on the PRB Tigers that also have a first-year head coach?
Yeah, the two Tigers. It's always been every time we match up with these guys, it's a good night. Whether it goes our way or not, it's always fun because it's going to be good volleyball. And yes, it is high stakes because conference and they're in our section and all the things, but it's exciting that it's a new head coach both ways, so it'll be fun to play this out tonight, and we're just going to do what we can do.
From your standpoint, with some of those factors, how key do you see a win tonight for your Tigers team?
Well, of course, it's always good to take a win away, especially for the conference here. So it's key.
Coach, we are excited. We also believe that we are in for another great show with these two teams. Thank you for the time, and good luck to you and the Nevis Tigers.
Thank you very much.
Carly Cobb, head coach for Nevis, join us as we break. More on the pregame coming right up as we get you ready for volleyball on yourliveevent.com.
We believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Piers, or Brainerd online at hannikininsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
On the Station 371 pregame show for volleyball tonight is now joining us is Krista Blake, head coach for the PRB Tigers, winners of 3 straight, coming into a big one here tonight. Coach, of course, thanks for some time as we get ready for what should be a really fun battle tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy that we're back at it on the court time.
You are in the midst of an incredibly busy week, but so far so good. And you had a battle on Tuesday, 3-2 versus Verndale. I know we had you on after that game, but now that you had that day in between, kind of to work on things and review it, what stood out to you about a gritty win on Tuesday?
Yeah, our mental toughness is, I think, what won our game on Tuesday for us. We practiced, and yesterday we had a lot. Our practice yesterday honed in on our mental toughness, but having our skills with that, we keep going back to our saying, how you do anything is how you do everything, and I'm hoping that shows up tonight in this gym, that point by point you're going to see it more.
Well, and of course in the midst of a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I mean, such a crazy full week. Did you try to work with the girls but not extend them too much? Was there any concerns about getting them fatigued going into tonight and or Saturday?
Absolutely. We did more quality than quantity in our reps yesterday, but we also learned some lessons yesterday with the whole anything and everything. And I think our minds and our bodies are more than ready for tonight and this weekend.
Obviously a big one tonight, conference section. It's a good rivalry that has really kind of been split over the last several years. You're in your first year as head coach, but you've been near and at least have some familiarity with the program. Carly on the other side has been with their program, but is a first-year head coach. So what have you been able to gather, Krista, and what do you expect out of the Nevis Tigers tonight?
I'm ready to play tug of war on that score tonight. And I'm hoping that, I'm not hoping, I plan for us to be on the winning side of that tug of war. I know we got a middle on that other side, but we have a nice strong 8 good girls on our varsity that I think are going to outshine a Nevis team. If we all do everything we're supposed to do, anything and everything, I'm really hoping our girls show up.
Well, and I saw you last week, so I also did want to ask, coming into tonight, I mean, even with one week, and the fact that you've had a couple of matches already, what are some of the key things that you have seen grow for your team that might include some of that depth that you're building?
Yeah, this is where I'm like, I was so excited for all this like busy week of a schedule for them to be able to pick up and adapt. If I wanted to coach and swap up our front row up there a little bit, we got to see that a little bit on Tuesday, and we executed it. That's what I'm like hoping that we get to see tonight on Saturday and to keep going on that. Like it still really is, we need to develop our front row a little bit more and being adaptable. But Tuesday we started doing it.
So we'll see if it continues tonight. Should be a great one, Coach. Thank you, of course, for the time. Good luck to you and the PRB Tigers.
Thanks for being here.
Always. Krista Blake, head coach for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Join us as we break. More right after this on yourliveevent.com.
You add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect. What do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
We're back on the Station 371 pregame show for Pine River-Backus fans. This will get a little bit of a break. Of course, this is the third volleyball match this night at home this week for the Tigers. You can check out the upcoming broadcast schedule at yourliveevent.com for video stream games. If you want to check out all broadcasts for our cluster in the Brainerd Lakes, Aiken area for homegrown local radio, check out rjbroadcasting.com. Devin Kruger and Frank Parkinson here with you. Country night theme for the crowd. They had a lot of country songs tuned in as they're practicing the serving before we get things started here tonight. So Nevis 8-1, Pine River-Backus 6-3. Coach Krista Blake, one thing that you don't always hear a coach say in a pregame is she had a lot of confidence. She says, I expect our team to be on the winning side of the tug-of-war matchup last night. And in one way, some people could look at that as like, oh, the coach is being a little bit cocky, but I don't think it was like a cocky confidence. It didn't feel like that to me, Frank. It felt like, she feels good in the skills of this team, and because they have multiple weapons, she was just very clear on one of the areas she feels that they have an advantage. But we saw Ava Forbes warm up, and if Nevis needs a point, you know where they're going to go, and she's the type of player that can get that point that's needed.
And Krista Blake's mentality, when your head coach has a mentality, it trickles down to the players, and then it spews confidence into the players. So I like the confidence they're bringing into this game, but absolutely, there's once in a while you see a player that pops out during warm-ups, and you just mentioned it. Ava Forbes, they're going to get the ball to her as Nevis as much as they can. So it's going to be really one versus Army type feel in this game.
And of course, Coach Cobb did also mention some other players. So I'm also interested to see, especially early in the match, will they try to get Forbes? Is she the type of player that you have to get going early, and you have to try to get her into a rhythm right off the bat? Or is she good enough where you can maybe use her as a bit of a decoy? Have her faking in the middle and then set to one of those outside hitters like an Isaacson, like a Dirk Heising, like a Pyburn, and maybe get them players some early confidence. I'm really interested to see how that's played by Coach Cobb, because they probably come into every match knowing that the other team is going to be focused on Forbes.
Absolutely, and if they have a deep team that can do that, it's going to open up a lot of spots on the court for them to go hit.
We are getting ready for, of course, the pregame announcements and national anthem. We'll wrap up the Station 371 pregame show with the starting lineups and the opening serve. We expected, and looks like we're going to indeed have a real nice crowd here tonight in Pine River. 8-1 Nevis, 6-3 Pine River-Backus. Only meeting of the year between the Tigers and Tigers coming right up on yourliveevent.com.
Ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrump Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrump Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River-Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrump Excavating LLC. Online at shrumpexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-30. We are back and on the Station 371 pregame show. It is time for your starting lineups for tonight's Northland Conference matchup. First, for the visitors from Nevis High School, the green and gold Tigers, head coached by Carly Cobb in her first year. Nevis is 8-1 on the season, 1-0 in Northland Conference play. They will start a senior, Claire Isaacson, senior setter, Brenna Lindo, sophomore, Evelyn Durkheising, senior, Ava Forbes, the middle hitter, freshman, Mackenzie Lindo, senior, Amber Pyburn, and the libero for Nevis is senior, Danica Anderson. Once again, for the Nevis Tigers, it's Isaacson, Brenna Lindo, Durkheising, Forbes, Mackenzie Lindo, Pyburn, and the libero, Anderson. For the Pine River-Backus Tigers, 6-3 on the overall record, 1-0 as well in Northland Conference play for first-year head coach Krista Blake. The PRB Tigers will start 5'4 senior setter Kaylee Johnson, 5'8 senior middle hitter Mimi Bukers, 5'6 sophomore middle hitter Marin Lindquist, 5'5 senior outside hitter Ella Dahl, 5'6 sophomore middle hitter Ella Brewer, 5'5 senior outside hitter Ariana Burns, and the libero for the PRB Tigers is 5' junior Aubrey Words. For Pine River-Backus, it's Johnson, Bukers, Lindquist, Dahl, Brewer, Burns, and the libero Words. Those are your starting lineups as we thank Station 371 for sponsoring our pregame show. Don't forget your hunting and fishing licenses. Get them at Station 371, your locally owned Cenex station right on Highway 371. The opening serve of this Northland Conference matchup is next. You're watching high school volleyball on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Pierce, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
And welcome back as we see it on this, of course, always fantastic view. I was telling Frank it was his first trip up here on Tuesday. I was telling him you will maybe not find a better view for volleyball than what we get here at Pine River-Backus.
Oh, the top-down view that we have is perfect. You could not draw up a better view for us up here.
Nevis to our left in the white jerseys, black shorts, green numbers trimmed in yellow. And the official on the floor checking something with Carly Cobb already on the rotation, so perhaps there's going to have to be a substitution, or if there's something, we could end up with a point for PRB before this match even starts if there's a rotation violation on the roster. And Coach Cobb is talking to her captain and the ladies. Pine River-Backus to our right, black jerseys with the black shorts, orange numbers trimmed in white, white letters trimmed in orange. 2 first-year head coaches, and it looks like the officials are going to allow Coach Cobb to make an adjustment on her starting lineup rotation so there will not be a violation, or I've seen it where sometimes there's even they have to do a substitution before the game even starts. I've seen that in my years, and now of course Coach Krista Blake wants to know, hey, what's the deal with this? And she has an argument over should the Tigers of PRB start with a point right off the bat. The floor officials explaining to her what happened, and we'll see if that ends up being a satisfactory answer to Coach Blake. And there's a lesson in filling time, Frank Parkinson.
Absolutely. And Coach Carly Cobb looking at her assistant coach, tapping her chest, saying, that was my bad, that was my bad. So she's taking the blame on that confusion.
Right, and it does not appear. Now, they are checking the rotation for PRB, so we don't know for sure, but at least it looks like there will not be a violation of any sort to start tonight's matchup. Kaylee Johnson is behind the service line. She's going to have the opening serve for tonight's matchup. Jersey-clad Nevis students making the trip on the other side of the gym. Speaking of which, I got to plug my phone in so I can check certain scores that are happening tonight.
Looks like Jersey night for the visiting crowd.
Yes, it is. Here we go from the right side. Kaylee Johnson ready, and this Northland Conference match is underway as she sends one screaming to the near side off of Isaacson, and Nevis is just going to have to send it across. Tigers of PRB. Johnson to the left side. They go to Burns. Nevis definitely has a height advantage on the left side. Here is Durkheising, and that one hit the net and ran out of bounds. They're going to say she caught the net. They're going to say she touched the net, so the PRB Tigers grab tonight's opening point. And here's a shot across. So far, that's Forbes' first hit, but not at the net. Burns on the right side, cross court, and once again, Nevis in the net. And the first 2 points tonight come from Nevis going in the net. Did not expect that from an 8-1 team here to start tonight. They have to redo. You can see that on the screen. The floor official had to reset the protective barrier around the near side post. So a quick 2-0 start for Pine River-Backus. Here's Kaylee Johnson serve near sideline. Nicely played by Isaacson. In the middle, here's Derek Heising, and it's picked up by Ariana Burns. In the middle, tap, and Isaacson is there. Brenna to Forbes. Forbes sends it deep. Ella Dahl is there for the cover. Johnson to the left side again. Burns just over the tip. Picked up, and Forbes will push it across. PRB with another opportunity, and Kaylee Johnson set goes over the net, and then it was touched. It was touched on the far side by Durkheising, and that is a bit of a gift point, and it's not a smooth start for the Nevis Tigers.
Not at all. They're going to need a much-needed point here. Momentum building quick for the hometown Tigers.
Kaylee Johnson keeps it rolling. They're going to go to Forbes on the left side. Hard up luck, and there it is. Ava Forbes gets her first point tonight for the Nevis Tigers.
Right on cue, the player that we saw in warm-ups, the player the coach mentioned, all over that one on the spike.
Gets the side out as Isaacson will be the first back to serve. Just left of center for Nevis. Sends it on that far sideline, and PRB is just going to have to free ball this one over. Bucher sends it all the way to the back line. Here's Brenna Lindo, left side Forbes, crushing one, and that one off of Ella Brewer. Burns will swat it across. They're going to go to Forbes again. Forbes this time hammers it down.
She got every bit of that one. Her teammates starting to look and set her the ball as much as they can.
Well, and I think, too, with Pine River-Backus, for your blockers, one thing that did stand out to what Coach Cobb said is that she can hit it from different places. They will move her around, so you can't just go to one spot on the net. Here's Buchers trying to repay the favor, hits it out, and just like that, Nevis scores 3 straight, and we're tied up at 3.
The game runs early.
3 apiece, and the tug-of-war has begun, courtesy of Krista Blake. Or I should say, copyright Krista Blake. Left side, Burns. Burns with the shot, tipped at the net, and somebody touched the net. Then they're going to say it was Brenna Lindo this time touching the net, so Ariana Burns will collect her first kill of the evening. And PRB goes up 4-3 as Burns back to serve. Nevis didn't put heights on their roster, but it's clear they've got a couple of inches on the PRB Tigers. Forbes with an easy pass across. Johnson will go middle. Here's a shot by Buchers. Cross court, picked up by Isaacson. Here's the bump. Isaacson on the left side will push it far sideline. Burns, and that one going to go land right at the platform official. And Isaacson will get credit for the kill as we're tied at 4. Nevis's libero will come back to serve. That's Danica Anderson. The senior standing right at the center of that service line. Sends a sharp liner to the back. Johnson will go to the right side for Buchers. Buchers off the tip. Nicely one-handed by Brenna Lindo and pushed over by Isaacson near sideline. Johnson, the back set. Maren Lindquist first swing, got it! (5-4) Pine River-Backus. Kaylee Johnson is closing in, we believe, on 1,000 set assists for her career. Hoping to get that this year. Here's the serve by Buchers. The pass is off the mark, and they're from the break. What a shot by Forbes from the back row as she firmly rolled that one right into the middle of the court, and the Tigers of PRB could not recover. Third tie already of the first set. And now Forbes in the back row, and don't be surprised if they set her back there. Here's the shot and the tip at the net, down and good for Ella Brewer. 6-5 PRB. First set here tonight. Now the subs in for Pine River-Backus. Leah Eveland, she'll take over the setter duties in the 6-2 offense of PRB. She'll head back to serve. Callie Norman comes into the front row. Eveland from the left side as the student sections well energizing here. Here's a shot on the left side, and that one is on the line right in front of the official. Very well placed shot by the senior Amber Pyburn. 6 apiece. Great job by that line judge, too. Shifted his feet, kept his eyes on the ball, and immediately made that call on the line. Brenna Lindo serving into the net, service error. Free point for Pine River-Backus. They lead 7-6.
As predicted by head coach of PRB, Krista Blake, a bit of a tug-of-war match in the first set.
Yeah, that's gonna I think play all night. Here's Ella Dahl with a jump serve, tough serve, nice pass. Brenna Lindo left side, Isaacson through the blocking, good. Good power there by Claire Isaacson. 7 up. Into the front row, Dirk Heising is back in for Nevis's Tigers. Pyburn heads back to serve and drop the ball. She's got time. Now steps and puts one just off the net. Nicely played by Ella Dahl. The back set, Norman on the tip, far side, one-handed, nicely played. And Dirk Heising into the net. One of the key differences I'm seeing so far in the scoring is Pine River-Backus has 8 points on the board but only 3 kills. Nevis has 7 points on the board with 6 kills. Nevis is earning more points right now, but they're also giving away probably too many. Ella Brewer with the serve. Forbes from that back row and out. Boy, she rifled that one but zipped it past the back line. Back-to-back points for Pine River-Backus. Snaps a string of 10 straight back and forth points. And Brewer serving from the left side with the tough jump serve. Forbes at the net. Brenna Lindo tips it over. Eveland will set middle for Buchers. Buchers, the shot, dug out by Forbes. Here's the bump across by Mackenzie Lindo. Here's the set in the middle. Buchers again off the tip. And that one, we're going to have the Tigers in the net. Side out for Nevis. 9-8 Pine River-Backus opening set tonight. And as good as advertised, right?
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun night. Absolute back and forth matchup. Two really good schools, really good programs.
Cook County has a 2-0 lead over McGregor. That one on radio tonight, KKI and FM. Monaga at Pillager on Cash 95.9. As Mackenzie Lindo, one of two Lindo freshmen, plants an ace on the far sideline. And we're tied up at 9. What a well-placed shot right between two Tigers and right on the stripe. This one a little deeper. Ella Dahl with the pass over towards the student section. And Burns steers it over the net right on the near sideline. Brenna Lindo to Forbes off the tip and a kill. Nevis has grabbed their first lead at 10-9. Forbes already with 4 kills in this opening set.
Keep setting it to Forbes if you're the Nevis Tigers.
Here's the serve. Eveland will go to the right side. It's Norman. Norman deep, dug out by Anderson. Here's Forbes again, pushes sideline, and that one's down and good. 4 straight points now for the Nevis Tigers. And Ava Forbes is imposing her will right now in this opening set with this little spurt. Another serve and the shot. That one off the tip, and that one is down and good for Callie Norman.
Much needed point, a timely kill by Callie Norman.
Snaps a little 4-point swing. Lindquist and Johnson return for the Tigers. Norman and Eveland out. And Kaylee Johnson back to serve again. 11-10 Nevis opening set. Johnson gets the serve spot call from Coach Blake, mid-court. Forbes, left side, and that one dug out at the net. Tipped over by Buchers, and it's good. Great awareness by Mimi Buchers to collect her first kill with just getting a nick on the fingertip.
Great job on that PRB back line, digging that one out, giving her teammates a chance.
Johnson serves to the near sideline. They set, low set. Forbes has to pop it up, and she left it short. That set put her a little bit on her heels, and that's 3 straight for Pine River-Backus. And that is another lead change, 12-11 PRB, as they've scored 3 in a row. The serve from Johnson to the near side. Again, she's going to Isaacson every time. She rolls it over. Here's a good chance for PRB to keep momentum. Oh, the set's offline. Lindquist hits it off her heels. Here's the bump set. Here's Dierkeising, and that one at the net. Burns slaps it near side. Nice coverage there by Brenna Lindo. Here's Forbes off the blockers and good. Isaacson will get the assist. 12 all, 8th tie so far. And Isaacson's back to serve. Tough jump serve. Brewer with the play. Buchers left side. Shot. Aaron Anderson with a nice dig. Quick set. Forbes blocked at the net. And that'll be a point for PRB. First ace block. Oh, they're going to say 4 hits. They're going to say it was not touched. PRB celebrated like a block, but the head official said that one did not get touched and called it 4 hits. Which is almost too bad because now I feel officially I can't give them a block on that.
A point's a point.
That's
we'll
right.
Take it.
Ariana Burns with the serve. Here's the set on the left side, and that time Forbes blasts it through the blockers for another kill, her 7th of the set.
Not only does Forbes have the height, she gets up there on her spikes. She's a very big athlete on that net. It will jump high up in the air and spike that one home.
Anderson serves it over for the Nevis Tigers. Johnson to the right side. Buchers a little bit far, got a good swing on it, and now here comes Forbes on the touch over. Johnson, where will she go this time? Goes middle. Here's the slap, the late tip by Buchers. Set to the left side. It's Pyburn. Pyburn over the net and good. 10 assists now for the freshman Brenna Lindo. The senior setter Brenna Lindo. And Nevis regains the advantage. 14-13 Nevis. Opening set. 9 ties, 3 lead changes now. Here's Johnson going right side. Buchers high off the tip. Here's the set to the middle. Forbes, and that one picked up by Brewer. Here's the high bump, and it's going to be Ella Dahl on the near sideline, rolls it over. Here's Forbes again, and that one is down. 3 straight again for the Nevis Tigers, and they have a 2-point lead for the first time, or actually second time now, 15-13. Anderson with the serve. Johnson, left side for Dahl, high off the tip. Nevis is getting a lot of good touches at the net. Here's a shot by Pyburn, that one down and good. Pine River-Backus going to substitute, and for the first time this year, we get to see the 5'10 sophomore Margaret Crimmins coming in. Crimmins got injured during warm-ups before the first match of the season, and she is in for the first time in match number 10 for PRB, seeing if her height can make a difference. Here's the set. It's Buchers off the tip. Anderson's there. Lindo going to Forbes, and Forbes tried to tip it and left it short. She's upset with herself as that breaks a little bit of Nevis momentum. 16-14 Nevis, game number 1. We're expecting to be here a while tonight, folks. Buchers with the serve. Brenna Lindo going to Forbes on the right side. Sends it over. Dug out by Johnson. Dahl with the bump set in the middle. It's Brewer sending it near side. They set it to the left, looking for Forbes again. Good night. (17-14), and the PRB Tigers are struggling to have a solid answer for Ava Forbes. And Forbes is now rotating to the back row to serve. Here comes PRB. It's Ella Dahl on the left side. Sends it deep, and Nevis is right there on the coverage. They go to Pyburn. Pyburn taps. Aubrey Wirtz, and it's going to be Crimmins bumping it over. A free ball back to the Nevis Tigers. Left side, Mackenzie Lindo, and that one popped up by Crimmins at the net, and Johnson sends it deep. Lindo to Lindo again. This one a high push back to Burns. Johnson goes left side to Dahl. Dahl sends it deep. Anderson there. Good rally in the middle. Pyburn off a tip. Burns is there. Help from Brewer. Dahl again on the swing. Rolled over at the net, and it's back tapped, and what a beauty by Brenna Lindo. What an over-the-shoulder tap by the senior setter, and if that doesn't scream experience, nothing does.
Little finesse on that one. That was a beauty. Dropped it right where they weren't.
18-14 Nevis. Forbes with the serve. Crimmins, and again, PRB unable to get into a good rhythm on offense. Nevis trying to take advantage in the middle. Pyburn with the tap. You bet.
Starting to see some depth scoring from Nevis with Pyburn stepping up.
Nevis is on a 7-1 run, opening up a 5-point lead. 19-14, and coach is going to let them play it out for now. Here's Ella Dahl, and PRB again unable to get the offense set. On the left side, it's Mackenzie Lindo, and the Nevis Tigers are not having that trouble. 15 assists for Brenna Lindo. And Coach Blake giving some instructions. She talked about on Tuesday, she talked about the mental toughness for PRB, and she is testing it, leaving the girls out there to try to stop the momentum themselves. Served by Forbes. Johnson to Brewer with a strong tap. Great diving dig by Anderson. Forbes from the back row. That one is out. 20-15 Nevis.
Much needed point for the PRB Tigers. Needed that to halt the momentum.
Eveland and Norman in for Pine River-Backus. Set number 1. PRB finds themselves trailing by 5. Eveland on the run-up. Tough serve to Anderson. Going to go middle to Mackenzie Lindo. The tap is perfect. And if you look at my stat sheet, you can see all the kills for Nevis compared to Pine River-Backus here.
She's racking them up in the first set.
And Brenna Lindo with the serve. Eveland in the middle. Norman. That one is good. Callie Norman gets a nice kill for PRB. 21-16. Twins will be back in action tomorrow, and there is a serve outside the line. Ella Dahl just missed it on the far sideline. And a crucial free point for Nevis as they are up 22-16, looking to take the opener here on the road. Amber Pyburn set to serve. Pyburn in the middle, sends a floater deep to Dahl at the net, and Eveland had to bring it back, and Wirtz tips it over. Here's a shot by Isaacson, dug out by Eveland, off the fan, and that's going to be an Isaacson kill for Nevis.
Nevis starting to run away with this first set, up 23-16. Impressive play, lots of kills. It's going to be a tough team to beat tonight.
Serving is Pyburn. Again, 8-1 Nevis, 6-3 Pine River-Backus. Here's Brewer, right side, cross court, nice pickup. Nevis, Isaacson goes to Mackenzie Lindo, and that one is down and good. Set point for Nevis. Crowd subdued a little bit as Nevis getting on a pretty good roll in the back half of this set. Pyburn, and that one is too deep. Service error keeps PRB alive for a moment. 24-17. Of course, I've seen comebacks happen, but this is a very difficult comeback if the Tigers of PRB could put it together. Ella Brewer to serve from the left side. Rifles one. Nicely played. Boy, Anderson with a great play. Isaacson pushes. PRB has to take advantage. Evelyn to the middle. Buchers, yes!
Nice clean kill by Buchers, going to the back right side of that court.
Second kill for Buchers in this set. And Ella Brewer back to serve again. Brewer into the net. And that is how the first set comes to a close. Nevis 25, Pine River-Backus 18. And the Nevis attack, the story of the opening set. We'll recap game one. Frank will take set number two. It is Nevis 1, Pine River-Backus nothing, and this is high school volleyball on your liveevent.com.
For you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community. Making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org. Welcome back to Pine River-Backus High School. It is Nevis 1-0, 25-18 in set one. A set that featured 9 ties and 3 lead changes, but a big run in the middle. Pine River-Backus led 12-11 when Nevis put together a 9-2 run to go up 20-14, and Nevis, on the strength of their attackers, put away set number one. Serving-wise, PRB was 18 of 19. Nevis was 22 of 24 with 2 aces. But look at these numbers for Nevis. 17 set assists for the senior setter, Brenna Lindo. 9 kills for Ava Forbes, 4 for Amber Pyburn. For Pine River-Backus, they had a total of 9 kills in the first set. Buchers and Norman each had 2. And with the second set, Frank Parkinson, who was here Tuesday.
Frank Parkinson with you alongside Devin Kruger here on yourliveevent.com at Pine River-Backus High School. 1 set down, going on to the second set. Coach Blake speaking with her team, getting them ready to go. They need a bounce-back set in a big, big way. And on the Nevis side of things, Amber Pyburn really stepping up, providing some depth scoring with her 4 kills. But the story of the first set was Ava Forbes, just an absolute monster at the net. And when she's in the back line, she does a incredible job back there. Good server. She's a really well-rounded player.
Well, and I think, too, another thing that stood out to me in the first set was that because Nevis has a height advantage, Pine River-Backus has attackers that are 5'8", 5'5", and Nevis was able to get a lot of tips at the net. There's not a lot of good, clean lanes for the PRB attackers to try to go after.
When PRB is stacking up on the net, you're seeing a lot of the taps, little tips and taps right over the arm lengths to get a few kills. A lot of finesse plays on the Nevis side. Getting ready to serve for the Nevis Tigers, Mackenzie Lindo. Center court serve, sends to the back line. That is handled. Set up. Kaylee Johnson, and sent in is Evelyn. Handled at the net and the Nevis Tigers from the back line are just send that one over. Kaylee Johnson setting up her teammate. They get it right over. 2 bump sets, and that is Forbes puts it in, and a lack of communication on the PRB side. Ball drops right in between them all. 1-0 lead for the Nevis Tigers.
And a 7-0 lead for Green Bay.
The Vikings fans will love that update.
They will.
Set it up for that serve. For the service, Mackenzie Lindo. Back line handle it. Kaylee Johnson sets it up. And into her own net was Margaret Crimmins. Just mishit that one a tad. 2-0 Nevis Tigers.
Cook County defeated McGregor 3-0 over on KKIN tonight.
Lindo sends a serve to the back line. PRB sends it right back over the net. Set up is Lindo, and a spike and dug out on the back line. They set it up for Crimmins. Crimmins just going to send that one right over the net. Brenda Lindo sets up. Forbes spikes and dug out. What a play in the back right of the court. Net violation and point to the PRB Tigers. They get a much-needed point to make it a 2-1 game as they trail Nevis here in the second set.
Well, that's what Pine River-Backus is going to need. They're going to need that defense to somehow be able to pick up a few of those attacks, especially by Forbes. Make her maybe think a little bit more about where she's placing shots, because sometimes that can slow you up a tick.
Subbed into the game is Maren Lindquist as the serve goes right over the net from Kelly Johnson. She gets an ace off the hands of Claire Isaacson into the back left corner, and the game is now tied at 2 here in set number 2 as Kaylee Johnson grabs the ball, gives it a few dribbles. Up and over as Kaylee Johnson sends the serve. Bump set, Brenda Lindo. Blocked, but kept in. Lindo going back right to Forbes, who sends it to Ariana Burns and out of bounds. Score for the Nevis Tigers, and another kill racked up by Ava Forbes. Having herself a great night so far.
But that was, at least that first attempt, that was the first time that the Tigers of PRB got a solid hand on that shot and sent it back her way.
That could be something to work with. This is the back line of PRB sets it up. Kaylee Johnson over to Ariana Burns. Another bump set from Brenda Lindo, and a nice shot by Pyburn. Back right, dug out by Claire Isaacson, and sends it. Forbes sends it. Kaylee Johnson over to Ariana Burns. The libero handles it with ease, and sending it over the net is Claire Isaacson. To the middle of the court. Once again on the set is Kaylee Johnson, and that one's going a little too much on that one from Kaylee Johnson. And out of bounds on the back line. 4-2, Nevis leads PRB. Getting ready to serve, Claire Isaacson. She's going to jump and send that one just over the net for an ace. Nobody home for the PRB Tigers. 5-2 lead here in set number 2. And we got a timeout by PRB head coach Blake. We'll be right back on YourLiveEvent.com.
Weather and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Shrub Excavating LLC is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrub Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrub Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River-Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online at shrubexcavating.com.
We're back at Pine River-Backus High School as we were in the second set. Nevis Tigers lead PRB 5-2 as Claire Isaacson gets ready to serve. She sends it up and over. and put too much on that. A great job, great eyes by Ella Brewer to let that one go. And the PRB Tigers bring it within 2.
Yeah, good. That's that court awareness. As that one was fairly easy to let go, but it looks like a late response. And now we have I think Pine River-Backus is asking for a rotation check so they do not have a violation here and give up their serve and the point. But for PRB, it's always good. Be aware, know where the spots are on the floor, so if that's a close one, you can do that like Ella Brewer did. Spin away, watch that ball go past the line for a service error.
Patiently waiting to serve in the back left corner is Ariana Burns. Burns sends it up and over. Handled by Forbes. Bump set right back to Forbes. She's going to kill that one right to the back right of the court. What a play by Ava Forbes.
And that's part 2. She got blocked, and she's going to stay aggressive, but also be smart of when to take a little bit off and place a shot like that.
Preparing for a serve from center court is the libero, Danica Anderson, for the Nevis Tigers, who lead this one 6-3. And she's going to get an ace, challenging the back line. The back line struggles with that, the PRB back line that is, and a 7-3 lead for the Nevis Tigers here in set number 2. Once again, getting ready to serve, Danica Anderson.
Tigers.
Kaylee Johnson sets it back behind.
Somebody caught the net.
Yep, net violation against the Nevis Tigers.
Nope, correction. He pointed the wrong way. It was a net violation on PRB.
That will make this an 8-3 lead for the Nevis Tigers over the Pine River-Backus Tigers here in set number 2. Up and over the net is the serve from Danica Anderson. Kaylee Johnson finds Marin Lindquist, who just gets it over the net, and a nice little tap and a kill from Ava Forbes. What a play by Ava Forbes. PRB tries to bump set that one-handed. 2 players dive to the floor, but not enough. 9-3 lead here in set number 2 for the Nevis Tigers. As the libero sends a nice low serve. Ariana Burns from the back line. She's going to get a lot on that one, but just out of bounds. Good attempt by Burns, but a better eye by the back line of the Nevis Tigers, who lead this one 10-3 over PRB here in set number 2.
Pine River-Backus just flat out is not getting their offense going. The passes aren't up to the net. The attacks are coming from that 10-foot line. They're just not able to get into a good offensive groove.
Kaylee Johnson with the nice dig out by Kaylee Johnson. Ella Bruce is going to send that one up and over. 2 sets, and Ava Forbes dug out by Kaylee Johnson. Falls to the ground, gets back up. We got a whistle.
Yeah, and the line judge was saying on that hit over, that third hit right on the near sideline, and I looked at him right away. He was trying to get the official's attention. They didn't look at him. He signaled it right away that third hit was outside of the antenna.
6 in a row for the Nevis Tigers, who lead the set number 2, 11-3. Ella Dowell goes for a spike and just puts a little too much on that one, missing the back right corner by just a hair. 12-3, Nevis Tigers lead here in set number 2.
And Coach Blake still refusing to take a timeout, trying to let her girls figure this out and get themselves into get themselves back into it themselves.
Sending it over the net is Kaylee Johnson. Bump set, Brenda Lindo, and a spike dug out by Ariana Burns on the back line. Great job by Burns, who's going to send this one over from the back line. And a spike. Oh, he's going to call a net violation against Ava Forbes, who thought she had a clean block, but she did not.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they thought they had the block, but take that one away instead.
Subbing into the game is the sophomore, Leah Eveland. Subbing out for Eveland is Autumn Burns. Margaret Crimmins, who's going to get the word from her coach and stay out there. She's going to decide not to do the substitution here.
Yeah, and again, they were checking their rotation, so they're probably just making sure of what the call is. And now Isaacson, the captain for Nevis, was asking exactly what that call was on the net violation. And Nevis now they have 13-3 on the scoreboard there.
We have 4.
We have 12-4. Or you have 13-4.
Well, yeah, I had 12 when I looked up and saw the 13. I had 12-4 as well.
I think that scoreboard might be off.
I think it is. 12-4 is what we got. Bump set by Brenda Lindo, and a spike. Unable to block that one was Ella Dowell, and a kill once again for Ava Forbes.
Yeah, Nevis is just in control of this one so far.
Looks like Nevis might have got a free point here.
Well, we'll go with the scoreboard because that's official. Even if they made a mistake, that might be official. Nobody's barking on the sideline, so we'll go with it.
Oh, confusion between Burns and Eladal. Weren't sure which one was going to go for that one. Neither of them called each other off. And Nevis will take the point as Ava Forbes gets ready to serve with a 14-3 lead for the Nevis Tigers over the PRB Tigers here in set number 2.
See, now they didn't put a point up for Nevis, so it's 14-3.
Okay.
Oh, wow, what a play.
What a dig out by the libero. That's Danica Anderson showing incredible defense on that back line. Danica Anderson with a bump set. Brenda Lindo for the set. And what a block. Fired up by the PRB Tigers. An incredible block by Mimi Bukers.
That was actually Maren Lindquist. We'll give credit where credit's due.
The 6 and 8 confused me there. Lindquist subbing out, subbing in. Leah Evelyn also subbing in into the game. Callie Norman. Kaylee Johnson tags out for Norman. Bouncing around in the back right corner, getting ready to serve is the sophomore, Leah Evelyn.
And now they have 14-5 on the scoreboard, so I think we were correct, and they just finally figured it out.
My running score is going to look a lot of confusion here.
There's another attack. That one was Pyburn.
15-5, the Nevis Tigers lead PRB here in set number 2.
Nevis up 1-0, taking the first set, 25-18.
Brenda Lindo up and over. Ariana Burns, great eye, going to let that one go right over her head. Score for the PRB Tigers.
And PRB needs a run. This is, it's 15-5. They haven't reached that 20-point plateau. If PRB is going to get a run together, this is when they need it.
Mimi Bukers subbing in for Ariana Burns. Serve handled on the back line by Forbes, who's going to go up and over. What a block! Oh, an attempted block came up short. And that's going to be another kill for Ava Forbes.
Yeah, that one's just, we talk about court awareness, and Ella Brewer got a piece of it, but she didn't get herself close enough to the net where that ball goes straight down on the other side.
Amber Pyburn gives the ball a few spins, gets ready to serve from center court. Nice low serve handled on the back line by Ella Dahl. Mimi Bukers is going to get that one up and over the net. Setting up is Brenda Lindo. And a two-handed push. Too much on that one, and a score for PRB, who brings within 9. 16-7 is set number 2.
Yeah, still a long way to go for PRB, and for your Nevis, this is where if you have to tap it over, you're fine. You don't want to give the points away. PRB does not have a kill in this set by my stats.
Margaret Crimmins tags in for Aubrey Wirtz. Bump set Lindo, a battle at the net, and the Tigers of PRB are going to win that battle. Trying to slowly claw their way back into the second set after dropping the first set to Nevis. Getting ready to serve from the back right corner. Ella Brewer gets it over. Mackenzie Lindo puts a lot on it. Back line of PRB trying to handle it. Evelyn's just going to get a two-handed push. Can she get a kill from it? She cannot. The libero, Danica Anderson, gets it up and over. Evelyn with the set and a two-handed bump by Mimi Bukers. Another set by Lindo and blocked at the net. Mimi Bukers all over that one. Some momentum starting to gain.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Nevis all of a sudden is having a little bit of trouble getting their clean passes to the net, where that's where they've really been strong for most of this match.
The 5'6" sophomore Ella Brewer is going to send that one over. Too much on that one, and a score for the Nevis Tigers, who lead the second set 17-9 over PRB.
So just as PRB was starting to sense a momentum shift, a service error helps Nevis.
Evelyn finds Bukers for the kill. That's a connection we saw a lot of on Tuesday night, and we're starting to see it here in set number 2 for the PRB Tigers. Subbing into the game, Kaylee Johnson. Tagging out for Kaylee Johnson, Callie Norman. Going to take a quick break. And another substitute. Leah Evelyn coming out of the game for Maren Lindquist. Setting up the serve from the back left corner is Kaylee Johnson of the PRB Tigers, who are trailing the Nevis Tigers 17-10 here in set number 2. She's going to send that serve up and over. And another set from Brenda Lindo. She's been doing it all night.
Forbes didn't get a clean shot on that one.
The libero, Danica Anderson, is going to handle that one. And some confusion from her pass between the back line and the front line. And a much-needed point and a bit of a gift for the PRB Tigers.
The lead is 6. PRB looking for a big swing here.
Beginning to wake up is the Pine River-Backus student section. Brenda Lindo with the set, and getting that one up and over is Ava Forbes. Crimmins puts a lot on that one. Isaacson over to Forbes with the kill. Forbes goes cross court with that one. She was on the left side. She's going to send it to the right side, front court. What a play to make it an 18-11 game in set number 2. Nevis leads Pine River-Backus. Giving it a few dribbles, ball, nice spin. Claire Isaacson sends it up and over, handled by the back line. Kaylee Johnson's going to set this one up for Bukers. Bukers puts it out, and what a dig by Claire Isaacson from the back right. A two-handed push. Great awareness by Ava Forbes, who saw Bukers slightly out of position. She sends it right to her for the kill. Subbing into the game for PRB is Ella Brewer, selling out Bukers.
And that is that court awareness. Forbes recognizing that they were sinking too far into the middle of the net and found an open inside corner.
Sent back over, and a bump set for Brenda Lindo, and a powering spike right to the ground, back left, wide open, and Ava Forbes takes advantage of it. 20-11 lead here in set number 2. Nevis trying to run away with this one.
And there you go again. Pine River-Backus got that little bit of momentum. Nevis takes it right back.
Claire Isaacson sends it to the back line. They're going to bump that one up. Kaylee Johnson to Bukers. What a play by Bukers. A two-handed block. She's all over it. Score by Bukers. A block machine on that rally.
Yeah, good. That was a good turnaround by Bukers after the tap, realizing that was going to come right back. Got the hands up, and into the net it went.
The 5'8" senior Mimi Bukers is going to send that serve up and over. Brenda Lindo trying to find her teammate Forbes, who puts a little bit too much on that one, trying to paint the back right corner, just misses, and a score for the Pine River-Backus Tigers, who trail Nevis here in set number 2. 20-13 here on YourLiveEvent.com.
We haven't seen Forbes miss many hits.
Mimi Bukers nearly with an ace, but handled, and they're just going to pop that one right over the net. Setting up Kaylee Johnson, and a nice one-handed push dug out by Claire Isaacson. Ava Forbes going to send that one over, handle. Kaylee Johnson set for Ella Dahl. Dug out once again by Claire Isaacson, busy in that back right corner. Ava Forbes, too much on that one. 20-14, the Pine River-Backus Tigers lead the Nevis Tigers, and we're going to get a timeout from the Nevis Tigers coach Carly Cobb. We've got a 20-14 score. Nevis leads Pine River-Backus here in set number 2 on YourLiveEvent.com.
On food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling.
We're back at Pine River-Backus High School here on YourLiveEvent.com. Frank Parkinson with you alongside Devin Kruger. We are in set number 2. Nevis takes set number 1 over Pine River-Backus. Pine River-Backus trying to claw their way back into this set. They have scored 3 straight. They're trying to keep it cooking with Mimi Bukers looking to serve once again.
Well, and Nevis takes a timeout, and I think Coach Cobb just simply wanted to say, hey, just settle down, focus, don't let them get back into this. Go to your big guns.
And Nevis comes out of the timeout and gets a much-needed point to make this second set 21-14 over the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Getting ready to serve Danica Anderson, the libero.
And she was serving on that tear earlier this set.
Ella Dell handles the serve, and they have trouble with it in front of the net. 22-14, Nevis takes the lead. Subbing out of the game, Mimi Bukers. Subbing in, Ariana Burns. Burns, a very reliable player on that back line for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Sending it up and over is Danica Anderson. Back line handles it. Ella Dahl's going to two-hand bump to her teammate. Two-handed push does Crimmins. And a bump set by Brenda Lindo. One-handed spike by Amber Pyburn. That one comes right back, and send it over is Forbes. Kaylee Johnson, two-handed set for her teammate. What a dig out in the back left corner by Mackenzie Lindo. And they're going to call a net violation, I believe.
Yep.
Pine River-Backus Tigers get a much-needed point, trying to claw their way back in. They trail here in the second set, 22-15 to the Nevis Tigers. Subbing out, Crimmins. Subbing in for the PRB Tigers is the libero, Aubrey Wirtz.
Wirtz did not serve in the first set, so see what she can bring here.
The junior Wirtz with their first set serve of the game. Sends it right up and over, setting up as Lindo. And a one-handed spike dug out by the libero, Wirtz. One-handed play by Dahl. What a play. Players tripping over each other as the veteran player, Ava Forbes, gets it over as they can reset. And a block. Burns lays out to try to save it with a one-handed dig. Comes up just shy. 23-15, the Nevis Tigers lead PRB here in set number 2.
I think that's one of those big points for Nevis as they tried to close this one out and take a 2-0 lead on the road.
Burns handles the serve from Forbes. One-handed spike, a little too much on that one. Set point for the Nevis Tigers. They lead 24-15 here in set number 2, trying to take a 2-0 set lead. Forbes serves, handled by the libero Wirtz. Kaylee Johnson finds Dahl, puts a lot on that one, but dug out by Ava Forbes. Run into the front of the line, Highburn. She gets it over. Dahl sends it back to the libero. Bump set and a spike. What a kill. 25-15. Nevis takes set number 2. They lead 2-1. They win that set 25-15 here on
2-0, by the way.
I said 1.
You said 1.
2-0.
Sorry.
They lead. As they said, they will head into set number 3 here at Pine River-Backus High School on yourliveevent.com.
In Pine River, Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget moonlight bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Pierce, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Welcome back to Pine River. Devin Kruger back with you for set number 3 as the Nevis Tigers hold a 2-0 lead over the Pine River-Backus Tigers, 25-18, 25-15. Ava Forbes, 9 kills in the first set, 10 in the second. She has been outstanding. Pine River-Backus is going to have to find a way to slow her down if they want to come back. Now, the Tigers were down 2-1 on Tuesday, came back to win, now down 2-0, but Pine River-Backus just not a lot of offense. In the first set, they only had 7 kills. I only had PRB for 2 kills in that second set. They've got to find a way to get their passing better, their serve receive better, to generate the offense.
They got to hone in the fundamentals here. Keep it simple.
Kaylee Johnson will start the serving, and she'll start with a service error. Just the second of the night, make that third of the night for Pine River-Backus as Nevis will jump out to the 1-0 lead. PRB was 12 of 13 in set 2 with an ace, 18 of 20 for Nevis with an ace. There, Isaacson starts the serving. Bukers from the left side with a tap. Here's Brenna Lindo to the middle, going to Dirk Heising, and that one off the net and down. And it's 1-1 in set 3. Ariana Burns back to serve. Nevis will set up. Forbes, left side, count it.
It could not be fun to be on the receiving end of those spikes.
No, I guarantee you it's not, because, of course, I'm sure for the PRB Tigers, it just gets more and more frustrating as she piles up the kills. And now a serve too long by Danica Anderson. So she'll repay the favor on the service error, and we're tied up at 2. Mimi Bukers, short serve, and the pass over the net, just getting it cleared. And now the Tigers of PRB cannot get a clean hit on it. And Nevis will grab a 3-2 lead. I'm sure Coach Krista Blake, not exactly the tug of war she was hoping for. Pine River-Backus has not been able to showcase their depth. Nevis with the 2-0 lead. Forbes back to serve into the net, and suddenly both teams are having some issues getting the serve over the net as we're knotted up at 3-3. Monaga at Pillager tonight. No updates from that one yet. Cook County got the sweep over McGregor. And now a jump serve from Leah Eveland. Here's the bump set. It's going to be Isaacson from the back row. PRB plays it cleanly in the middle. It's Ella Brewer, and a shot, and that one is tipped down and good.
What a spike by Brewer, using the entire court.
Evelyn will head back to serve. Pine River-Backus needing this one to try to play on, and another service error. Both teams with 2 already here in set 3. Nevis will substitute. So we have not seen Nevis really substitute all game other than the libero. Maya Durgan, a sophomore, will come in for the first time. She's behind the service line. From the center, and that one way too long. Another service error.
That's been the theme of this third set.
5-4 PRB set number 3. Nevis looking for the sweep on the road. Only matchup this year. Northland Conference section matchup. And Nevis right now with the 2-0 upper hand, and there's Pyburn with good placement in the middle of the court.
Good court awareness by Pyburn.
Already the 5th tie. We've been tied at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And Pyburn back to serve. Pyburn into the net. And I am seeing a pattern here for set number 3. Ella Brewer back. And that the service errors don't make it that exciting for the fans.
No, we want some rallies. We want some action.
Ella Brewer, left side, serves down the near sideline. And here's a tap back, and that one down. No ace, but PRB will grab back-to-back points and take a 7-5 lead as the serve receive was too close to the net for Brenna Lindo to do anything with it. Brenna's had a sensational night as a setter. As here's Dahl serve. Anderson just played it enough. Isaacson with a tremendous save. Free pass over. Leave Evelyn to the tip. Bukers tapped right back over by Isaacson. Evelyn to Bukers again with the left-handed tap. This time it hits the net, and a little bit of net luck for Mimi Bukers. 3 straight for PRB. They lead 8-5.
Great job by Mimi Bukers to stick with that one. A lot of action coming towards her. She held her position, held strong, gets the well-earned kill.
Tough serve by Brewer. Nicely one-handed by Brenna Lindo. Another great play just to keep it alive. Now Evelyn with the dump, and that one over the net but out of bounds, and it's 4 straight for PRB.
Evelyn really sold that one like she was going for a set. Next thing you know, right over the net, caught the Nevis Tigers off guard.
Here's Ella Brewer again, and that one too deep. And after a nice little run, a service error flips the script back over to Nevis. Mackenzie Lindo serving, and an ace! Second ace tonight for the freshman Lindo.
Here come the Nevis Tigers.
Mackenzie with 3 kills all in the first set. And now her second ace, and now another pass in this serving. PRB having a tough time handling. They send it over on 3. Here comes Forbes from the left side. Yes, indeed. Ava Forbes with the kill. 3 straight for Nevis makes it 9-8 here in the third.
A little quiet at the beginning of the set was Forbes, and their teammates getting her involved now as they're clawing right back, trying to get that lead back.
Green Bay 14-0 over Washington, NFL Thursday Night Football. Tough serve again by Lindo. Norman with the tap, and you can see there's a big difference in aggressiveness. That's going to be a double hit called on Nevis. But there's been especially in sets 2 and 3, there's been a decisive difference, I think, in the aggressiveness at the net between these two teams.
Absolutely. The net presence of the Nevis Tigers is just an absolute scary presence to watch. They have multiple girls that they throw up there. They got finesse, little taps over the hands. They're putting power spikes down. It's been an impressive showing at the front line.
Kaylee Johnson, and boy, that one just rolled over. Another tremendous save by Brenna Lindo. Sent over by Burns and somebody in the net. Burns with credit for the kill. 11-8 Pine River-Backus. They need this one, down 2-0 in the match. 25-18, 25-15, and now another sub in as freshman Ariana Hamlin checks in for the first time for Nevis. Kaylee Johnson back to serve. Short serve, and that one too short. She tried to teardrop that one over the net, and it just fell short. Isaacson back in rotation for Nevis. Deep serve. Nice pass by Brewer. Johnson, the long set. Bucher's left side. What a save by Anderson. And shot across by Hamlin. Here's the back set. To the right side to Crimmins. That one tipped at the net and dug out. To the middle. Forbes. She'll punch it over this time. Didn't get a good set for the swing on that one. And now here's a shot over by Hamlin. Johnson goes middle. Bucher's right side. Isaacson's there. Brenna Lindo. Forbes at the line. Sends it deep and on a free ball. Tap down. What a save at the net. Tapped again. And the Tigers of PRB are all over it. Bucher's will set it across. Here's the bump set. Forbes again swings. Then the dig. This time a little bit short for Brewer. And Forbes, after one of the longer rallies we've seen tonight, gets the kill. 11-10 Pine River-Backus in set number 3.
PRB made Nevis earn that one. What a battle on both sides.
Isaacson with the serve. Johnson will set left side to Bucher's off the tip, and Anderson right there again. She's had a fine night. Forbes lobs it over, and that one off the diving Kaylee Johnson is good for another Forbes kill. And Nevis has come back to tie it at 11, holding the 2-0 lead in the match. Senior captain Claire Isaacson back to serve. This Nevis team, 5 seniors, 2 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 3 freshmen. Here's Bucher's left side, and that one is good. That's the type of shot the Tigers of PRB have been needing, and they need a lot more of them. Trailing 2-0 in the match. Ariana Burns heading back to serve. 6 ties, 1 lead change so far here in set number 3. Here's the high bump. Forbes winds, fires, and got it on the near sideline. Very, very well placed by Ava Forbes. We didn't ask Coach Cobb, but we might have to ask her after if Forbes is playing at the next level next year and where she's going.
She's got the talent to. It's up to her.
Back to serve is Hamlin for the first time, and it's into the net. Service error. Can't help but wonder, where this set would be without the service errors. That's 5 on Nevis, and PRB has 3. Buchers serves it up for Pine River-Backus, and Brenna Lindo, one of the very few miscues we've seen. She tried to dump it over and put it into the net. Back-to-back points for Pine River-Backus. They lead 14-12. We're in the third. Nevis up 2-0. Buchers, a deep midcourt serve. Here's the set, and that one Forbes tipped at the net by Brewer. Buchers with the bump. Crimmins from the right side off the net, picked up by Lindo. Anderson, and it's going to be Isaacson with a push to the deep corner. Johnson will go middle for Brewer. That one was tipped, and it's down and good for Brewer. Her 3rd kill tonight. 15-12, Pine River-Backus. And we've got a timeout taken by Nevis. Timeout here in the 3rd. It's Nevis trailing in set 3 to Pine River-Backus 15-12. Nevis is up 2-0 in the match as we take a quick break, and we're back after this on yourliveevent.com.
A wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Coming out of the break, it was Amber Pyburn with a big kill for the Nevis Tigers, 15-13, as Forbes is back to serve. Nevis trying to claim the sweep in this matchup. Pine River-Backus won the meeting last year, 3-1. Here's Pyburn again, nicely saved by Johnson. Wirtz, the libero, and Dahl will just turn and bump it across. Brenna Lindo, left side, Mackenzie Lindo, got it! 4th kill tonight for the freshman Lindo. The senior Lindo continues to pile up assists. 15-14.
The freshman doing her best Ava Forbes impression on that.
I'm sure she's learning from her. Forbes with the serve. Johnson to the back row. It's Burns, and that one out. I don't mind seeing that from PRB, though. Change it up a little bit. Try to get a good, strong attack, but that one off the side of the hand. And we are knotted up at 15. Forbes with the deep serve off the shoulder of Burns. On the left side, Dahl with a tip. Here's Brenna Lindo going to Pyburn in the middle. That one off the blocker and good. And this, Amber Pyburn, and Coach Cobb talked about her. Nevis showing they're not a one-gal show. That is 9 kills for Pyburn.
4 consecutive points for the Nevis Tigers.
Another tough serve by Forbes. And here's the shot across by the PRB Tigers. Forbes coming back row. Sends a soft shot over. Johnson, the running set. Dahl into the net.
This is the point of the game where PRB cannot start falling apart. They need a point here desperately.
Pine River-Backus held a 9-5 lead. It has been a bit of tug of war, but it's like 3 points here, 3 points there. Here's the shot by Crimmins, blocked at the net, back to the PRB side. On the left side, it's Dahl. She'll have to just pop it over. Here's the set to Mackenzie Lindo, and that one hammered through a block and good. 18-15. Nevis is in front, looking for the 3-game sweep, and they get an ace from Forbes. Second of the night for Forbes from the service line, and a timeout from Pine River-Backus. Nevis out of their timeout, putting together a run. They have scored 7 straight, and they lead set 3, 19-15. Nevis on the road with a 2-0 match lead as we break. More after this on yourliveevent.com.
Ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrump Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrump Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrump Excavating LLC. Online at shrumpexcavating.com.
Devin Kruger, Frank Parkinson back with you here on YourLiveEvent.com. Again, check out that upcoming schedule. And don't forget, we have the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show every Wednesday at 7 o'clock live on YourLiveEvent.com. Ava Forbes ready to serve. Nevis in the midst of a 7-0 run, trailing 15-12, now trying to put themselves into position to close this out in 3. Forbes with the serve. And it's sent across on a free pass by PRB. Here comes the set in the middle, and that one shot dug out by Burns. Back to Nevis. The set to the left side, Mackenzie Lindo. That one down and good. And the freshman Lindo coming alive here in this third set. She's got 3 of her 6 kills here in the third set.
Ariana Burns so reliable in that back line, just did not have enough time to recover on that one.
And Forbes showing that she can get on a streak from the service line. 9th serve of this set. Johnson to the middle. Brewer, hard smack off the tip. Isaacson's there. Nevis getting a lot of those touches that they need at the net. Wirtz to the left side for Dahl. Dahl shoots it across. Here's the high bump set and the shot by Pyburn. And that one off of Wirtz, and that one's going to be down and good for Amber Pyburn. 9 in a row for Nevis. These two are on opposite sides of Section 5. Nevis in the west, Pine River-Backus in the east. Which means if they met again, it would be for the section title. Here's a shot by Forbes, and that one is going to be an ace. 10 straight for Nevis as they are looking very, very strong. And Pine River-Backus is going to need a major turnaround. They're going to need it fast if they want to come back in this one. Forbes with the serve. Here's the set in the middle. Brewer spins one off the net. Free ball at the net. Brewer swings and misses into the net. 23-15. And sometimes you see a shot like that and you think it is just not your night. Brewer with a free ball but misfired. Nevis 2 points away from the sweep. Forbes with the serve, right side, Lindquist, and she's been quiet tonight but comes up with a big one. Just her second kill, and that snaps the 11-0 Nevis run, 23-16. Now, can that provide a spark for this PRB team? Evelyn and Norman back in. Evelyn to serve on the left side. The running jump serve deep to Isaacson. Lindo to Pyburn. Pyburn sends it deep, high in the air off Buchers. Burns rallies to get it, and it's going to be steered over by Brewer. Here comes Brenna Lindo to Pyburn in the middle, and that one through the block, down again. Match point, Nevis.
Dominating performance by the Nevis Tigers today. What a well-rounded team.
And back to serve, Brenna Lindo. Sends it across. Here's the Evelyn with the dump across Leah Evelyn.
That seems to be her signature move, the old fake set.
It can be. Some setters are amazing at it, but some, and you don't want to do it too much.
Right.
That's the key is the timing of it. Ella Dahl's back to serve. Still match point for Nevis, 24-17. Isaacson calls for it. She gets it, and the senior captain puts it into the net, 24-18.
The PRB Tigers have a lot of fight in them. They do not quit.
Yeah, that's for darn sure. Dahl standing deep on that left side. Trying to get the PRB Tigers in a run, and this is going to end with a service error.
Fitting for that third set.
Unfortunately, yes. Nevis takes the third, 25-18. Nevis takes the match in a 3-game sweep. 25-18, 25-15, 25-18. Nevis will go to 9-1 on the year, 2-0 in the Northland Conference. Pine River-Backus falls to 6-4 overall, 1-1 in conference play. Coming up next is the post-game recap if it's a 3-0 sweep for the Nevis Tigers here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Fuel and Find baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash. Open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Pierce, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
We are back as we welcome you to the post-game recap. Nevis gets the victory 3-0, 25-18, 25-15, 25-18, as they get their 9th win in 10 matches. Devin Kruger, Frank Parkinson with you. And Nevis, I mean, this is one of those that sometimes you kind of have to be blunt about it. Nevis just flat out looked better in almost every phase. Pine River-Backus struggled getting the offense going. They struggled at the net. Nevis got a lot of touches on the PRB attacks. And if you serve, receive, it always starts. Coaches will tell you it flat out. It starts with serve. It starts with serve, receive. And Nevis was just better in those categories, and it showed at the net as Nevis takes down PRB in their only Northland Conference matchup of the year, and they get the sweep victory on the road.
Ava Forbes, an absolute superstar. But to get a superstar like that going, a net presence, you have to have a setter. And Brenna Lindo was exactly that. She was a setting machine every single time their teammates bumping it right to her, sets it straight up into the air, and Ava Forbes just able to shine thanks to her teammate.
Yeah, passes to the net, makes the setter's job a lot easier. Setter able to put the ball in a good spot for the hitters, and that's what we saw. The first set, and Coach Blake said she expected a tug of war tonight, and the first set we did kind of get that. The first set had 9 ties and 3 lead changes, and it was the back and forth battle, but it did seem like Nevis was earning their points, but also giving a few. Pine River-Backus did a little better job. In set 2, I think there was only one tie, and that was early at 2. And then Nevis had a nice run, got up 12-3, and they just didn't look back in set 2. And then in set 3, again, it was a battle, especially early. They were tied at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You thought, okay, PRB's righting the ship a little bit. They're going to try to get, play their style of ball, keep that ball in play. Again, a lot of that is just, pestiness. Just keep the ball in play, But we saw Nevis able to terminate more. And even though we had 8 ties and 3 lead changes, the key difference, of course, an 11-0 run that turned a 15-12 deficit into a 23-15 lead. Nevis just completely turned it on in every facet and ran away with set 3.
The constant spikes from Forbes just seemed to put a wear and tear on the back line of PRB. And when they were able to dig it out, the ball was coming right back at them.
Yep.
I mean, it was constant aggressiveness from the Nevis Tigers.
Stat-wise, here's what I have unofficially. Serving, I have Nevis 59 of 68 for 86% with 6 aces. For PRB, 43 out of 50, 86% with only 1 ace. Team blocks, Pine River-Backus actually had more blocks in the game tonight, 3-1, but Nevis definitely had more tips and more presence there at the net. For Pine River-Backus, again, offensively, they had struggles. Mimi Buchers leads the way with just 6 kills on the night. Kaylee Johnson had 8 assists, also had the lone ace serve. Lee Evelyn had 6 assists for PRB. For Nevis, Ava Forbes, 24 kills in the match tonight. She had 10 in the second set, 11 kills for Amber Pyburn, 41 assists for Brenna Lindo, the senior setter. Mackenzie Lindo had 6 kills. Forbes pitched in with 3 aces. Mackenzie Lindo had a pair of aces, and Danica Anderson, she was outstanding as well as the libero. She picked up an ace as well. 25-18, 25-15, 25-18. Nevis gets the sweep. Post-game awards and interviews coming up as we come back after this on yourliveevent.com.
When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Shrub Excavating LLC is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrub Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrub Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online at shrubexcavating.com.
Also on the court.
Okay. We welcome you back to Pine River-Backus High School. Devin Kruger here with you as the Nevis Tigers get the sweep 3-0 over Pine River-Backus. And we're going to chat now with our star of the game from Hugo's Family Marketplace in Pine River, where you can find it all and still enjoy the local hometown atmosphere. Remember, every Wednesday, gallons of milk are just 2 for $6. Visit them online for curbside pickup, delivery, and other specials at PineRiverFamilyMarket.com. Probably not much of a surprise. Our star of the game tonight is senior middle hitter Ava Forbes for the Nevis Tigers. Great performance tonight, Ava. We know that this is a great rivalry. How good does this win feel on this floor for your team?
It honestly feels amazing. We really were trying to prepare mentally, physically, and really just crank out all the wrinkles in practices, and we were really looking forward to this game, and bringing it home in 3 was a great feeling for everybody on the team.
You're one of 5 key seniors, and Coach Cobb was talking to us before the match about this senior group. Last year, you had a decent year, but 12-16. Now you're off to this blazing start. What in your mind is the biggest difference from this year's team to last year's?
I would say the amount of time we spent together in practice, focusing on friendships, building relationships, we really started gelling as a team, and we really put a solid 6 on the court with our subs, of course, but we have that solid 6, and we just take it and run with it.
The first the first set was such a battle, and you ended up with a pretty big run through that second half. Was there a certain point, Ava, that you kind of felt your team get into the groove that you wanted on the floor?
Oh, absolutely. I felt it quite a few times throughout the game. It kind of just felt like everything was just moving swiftly. Everything was going very smooth, and I felt it a few times throughout the game, I would say, yeah.
Another thing that Coach Cobb talked to us in particular about your hitting is that you move around a lot, and sometimes hitters get real comfortable in one spot. It seems like you are comfortable no matter where they are setting you. What goes into that, and how do you make sure you're on the same page when you're kind of shifting spots to put the attack down?
I make sure I communicate very clearly with my other hitters, with my setter, and I'm like, okay, I'm running here, you're running there, and then after this one, we're switching back. I'm very direct and clear, and I just lead, basically. I just try to be very communicative and be very kind about it as well, but I try to communicate as much as possible.
All right, last one. Are you the type of player like you can get hot and you can kind of sense a groove coming at any point, or do you like to make sure you get a few early sets in a game to try to put you into an early groove and make sure that you can impose your will a little bit on the opposition?
Like me personally, or as our team?
You personally.
Me personally, honestly, if in the beginning of the game and I'm not making points, I do not let it affect me one bit. I just do what I know how to do, and I find my groove at any point in the game.
This was a very impressive win, I thought, for this Nevis Tigers team. I know we don't get to see you much, but I kind of hope at some point down the road I get to see this team play again. It was really fun to watch you. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
Ava Forbes was our Hugo's Family Marketplace star of the game. And now joining us is our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game for the victorious Nevis Tigers. And it is another one of the senior leaders, setter Brenna Lindo. And, one of the fun things about why I chose you, Brenna, was actually not even so much your setting, which was amazing, but how many times you saved a ball from hitting the deck with a flick of your elbow or, sticking your fist out there. And I think that only comes with a lot of court time. Do you feel sometimes that you just have a good sense of where the ball is, Brenna?
Yeah, it definitely took a lot of practice. But, yeah, you get used to it after a while, and you just see balls flying at you, and you just have to have good reaction time, I guess.
And I asked Ava the question, but I'm especially with seniors, I like kind of asking about the groove of the team. You're 9-1, and she talked about all the time you guys spent together for the off season. What do you think a start like this shows for not only you as seniors and how much you're able to enjoy a great start to year, but just your team as a whole?
We've improved so much from last year, and I'm just so glad that we're getting better. We put in a lot of time in the gym this summer and JO, and yeah.
One of the things, of course, when you have a hitter like Forbes, and she gets into a groove, how much do you, as that leader of setting the hitters, how much do you kind of have to consciously say, hey, we need to mix it up a little bit. We got to make sure we keep some other hitters swinging so that they can see some of that success and make sure it doesn't become a one-person team?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody's confident hitting. So once someone gets a bunch of kills, you got to mix it up a little bit. But I just want everybody to be on and have a good game.
You win the first 2 sets, and the second set you really kind of dominated. What was the conversation like between your teammates going into the third set? How much did you want to make sure that you ended this game in 3?
I remember in the huddle we were like, we want this more. We want to beat Pine River, and yeah.
Well, it was a great match. Obviously, a really good showing put forth by this Nevis Tigers team. Congratulations on the win and being our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game.
Thank you.
Brenna Lindo, the senior setter for the Nevis Tigers with the victory. Those are our post-game award winners, and now we're going to get Carly Cobb in here for the head coach for Nevis. I think coming into this one, we always know it's going to be a battle. You talked about all the times that you've played Pine River-Backus, and it just, this one just had a feeling at the end that you just had a little bit more control in the phases of the game. What stood out to you about this victory tonight for your squad?
Yeah, so proud of my. Oops, sorry.
No, that's right.
So proud of the girls.
You knew to hold the mic closer than the girls, so no, that was perfect.
Okay.
We're all good.
Sorry.
No, you're perfect.
So proud of my girls tonight for how they came out. First set, I felt like we came out just strong. We adjusted a little bit, and we put Forbes on the outside. She got to swing a little bit more. Durkheisen got to hold the middle down a little bit. And then second set was really nice how we just came in. Third set was where we talked right before this, before we came back out from that timeout. We said we just finished. We got to finish. So that was important for us.
Well, and that 11-0 run in the third, I mean, you're down 15-12. You take a timeout. What was the message to your team because, boy, when they came out, they were just, that was firing on every cylinder possible.
Yeah, message to the team was just restart, girls. Let's just restart. We kind of got in our heads a little bit. You saw the serves that we were missing. I mean, you can't win a volleyball game when you're missing serves. So, we kind of talked about that. We talked about what did they change up on us, right? They changed up. They were trying to tip on us a little bit. So as soon as we could adjust to that, the girls came out a lot stronger third set.
Well, and I think, too, one of the other pieces that sometimes, I believe my experience shows when I'm calling it is that, your serve receive was pretty clean for most of the game. And obviously that makes Brenna's job so much easier as a setter from the back row. Because obviously a game like this, it's so easy to focus on what Forbes did. And then Pyburn had a really strong game.
Yep.
And you talked about her in the pregame. But the back row, Anderson was fantastic. They were so solid, Coach. I want to get it from your vantage point.
Thank you. Serve receive. The girls are not afraid to put in reps in serve receive. We put in the reps on that in the gym at practice. Anderson, Isaacson, they're always serve receiving for us. And then Forbes does a few back there. That was a solid one for us tonight. We really went over what those servers were going to do on us, and they executed that part.
Yeah, they certainly did a very impressive win. So, looking forward, you've won 9 out of your first 10. With what you see from this team and the type of schedule that you have coming up, because obviously we won't see you again on yourliveevent.com until possibly or radio sometime down in the in the postseason. So I'm just kind of curious, with a start like this, Coach, what's your mindset of how does this team? What do you focus on to continue to grow and make sure that you can sustain this throughout the year?
Yeah, with these girls, it's been great the way that these girls have stuck together, and so I think that's key is we just keep them gelling together, sticking together, working hard in practice. These girls have been working, so I think that's key is just the rest of this season, the remainder of the season that we have, as we continue that fast-paced, aggressive practices and make the girls working hard.
Really nice win on the road tonight, Carly. Congratulations to you and your team, and we wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
Carly Cobb, head coach for the Nevis Tigers, join us as we will break. We'll have more of the postgame after a Nevis 3-0 sweep over Pine River-Backus here on yourliveevent.com.
Food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Pierce, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
Back with you here at Pine River-Backus High School. 3-0 Nevis with the sweep victory over the PRB Tigers. Not a ton out there on the out-of-town scoreboard. We saw Cook County. They defeated McGregor tonight in a 3-0 sweep. It was Pequot Lakes 3-1 over Piers. Wadena Deer Creek beat Sabika 3-0. Black Duck on top of Walker Hackensack Akeley 2-0. That one in progress, but no other scores I could find throughout the area. After this win, Nevis at 9-1. They are off until next Thursday. So Coach Cobb, after a big win, gets a week to work with her ladies, and they are back in action 1 week from Thursday. They'll be on the road at Cass Lake Bena. And then for Pine River-Backus, of course, again, we have talked with Coach Blake about this crazy busy week. 3 home matches Monday, Tuesday, and tonight, and they're back at it Saturday for that huge Barb Neprud tournament hosted at Crosby Ironton High School. Coach Blake was having some conversation with her players. Looks like we are not going to get her up here quite yet. Now, of course, tomorrow we have a full slate of high school football on radio coverage. You can go to rjbroadcasting.com to get the schedule, but we'll wrap it up here, respecting the coach and the players with some of the conversations happening. We don't want to drag it on too long. We'd love to get Coach Blake's take on this one, but we will certainly try to get a hold of her tomorrow for our radio Saturday Sports Wrap. Our Saturday Sports Wrap Coaches Show, 9 a.m. Saturday mornings on KKIN AM 930, FM 103.1 if you're within our radio reach for KKIN AM The Gobbler, but it is live online. You can listen at rjbroadcasting.com. Final score tonight, 3-0 Nevis, 25-18, 25-15, 25-18. Frank, thanks for coming along. Wasn't maybe quite the match we were expecting tonight, but Nevis was very impressive.
Yeah, we saw high-level volleyball, at least on one side of the net, and we saw what looked like to be a future collegiate athlete playing right in front of us.
Yeah, we did ask Ava Forbes. She said she's still deciding on potentially a couple of places to play next year. So we'll see how that goes. But the PRB Tigers, they'll go back and they'll certainly take some things from this one and work on them as Nevis walks away with the win, 3-0. That's gonna do it for us. Again, a huge thank you all of the sponsors and advertisers for being on with us for the PRB Tigers all season long on yourliveevent.com. We will wrap it up as we thank Frank. We thank all of you for joining us. Have a great night from yourliveevent.com.